Hello, welcome everybody to today's Slow Food Live session presented by Truly Grass Fed. I'm John Diggles, I'm your host for today. We're thrilled to host this grilled cheese cook-off with celebrity chef Jernard Wells and award-winning kidpreneur Chef Julian Frederick. They're exciting. I've already started talking to them about grilled cheese and they have my appetite all ramped up for what they're cooking today. So while we're waiting, everybody's coming in. Just remember again, drop in the chat. Let us know your ideas how to dress up a grilled cheese sandwich. If there's kids joining today, please shout out. Let us know. Let us know you're in the stream with us today. And it's great to see so many of you from across the country. So for those who are new to Slow Food USA, this is a nonprofit, is a membership organization, and we encourage you all to please read more about the work of Slow Food USA and perhaps decide to join, as we're looking to create good, clean, and fair food for all. So check out your local chapter, please, and what you're doing, what the Slow Food USA is doing in the community. Visit the Slow Food USA website and find out ways to get involved nationally as well into the mission. Okay, let's get started with our grilled cheese family-friendly cook-off. So our chefs are here today to show us how to make some delicious grilled cheese recipes at home using truly grass-fed cheeses and butters from cows. These are 95% grass-fed and are non-GMO project verified. Truly Grass-Fed is proud to support Slow Food USA as we work to create good, clean, and fair food for all. Our celebrity chef, Jernard Wells, is a father of 9. He's known as the Family Chef. He's the award-winning TV host of New Soul Kitchen on CLEO TV, best-selling cookbook author, and James Beard House honored award chef, beloved for his unique twist on Southern-inspired cuisine, which infuses Creole and Asian accents. Welcome, Chef Jernard. Our co-host and our kid chef, Julian Frederick, is an award-winning kidpreneur. He's also he's a best-selling author, a culinary influencer, and CEO of the Stool Chef. He is dedicated to building kids' confidence and independence through cooking. These are really talented culinary artists. They share a passion for the role that food plays in our families and our culture and our communities. Chef Wells, Chef Frederick, welcome. We can't wait to see what kind of goodies you're all going to cook up for us today. And for those watching again, please be sure, add your questions in the chat as we go along. We're going to try to answer as many as we can. Chef Julian, I know you're going first. I can't wait to see what you're cooking up for us.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Chef Jernard, actually, you're Chef Julian, Chef Jernard, I know you're leading us off, so we'll start with you, please.
I am, once again, it's truly an honor and a pleasure to really be joining Truly Grass Fed and the Slow Foods USA family. This really means a lot when you all see what we're doing, my Chef Julian and myself, what we're doing in the community, what we're doing on social media and abroad, and recognize there's a need for us to be seen and show our creativity. And one of the things I love is a great grilled cheese. I don't care who you are, where you're from, you love a good grilled cheese. If you don't, I don't know what to say. But I'm always thinking of ways on how to take my grilled cheese to the next level. Now, by all means, my guilty pleasure grilled cheese is a cool grilled cheese with a tomato basil soup. It's always a showstopper for me on those nice chilly days. But today what we're gonna make is my ham mac and cheese grilled cheese. Yes, ham mac and cheese. The savoriness with the creaminess goes so well, and not to mention, truly grass-fed cheeses and butters are amazing. You can taste the difference in what they're creating, and there is greatness in time. As we always say in the South, low and slow is the way to go. So real simple, all you need is go and grab your favorite pasta noodles. Me, I love, of course, because I am a father of 9 now. So my kids love some macaroni. So I got some little mini shells here, but you can use your regular elbow, you can use a penne, whatever it is that you desire, because you have to remember Cooking is meant to be brought into your world. People are supposed to experience what it is that you create and how you create it. So we got some pasta noodles. We got some amazing, truly grass-fed butter. We got heavy cream, milk. We got some natural, sharp cheddar cheese slices, because we know we need that. Got some sweet, creamy cheese, and we got a bold and creamy cheese over here. You can grab whatever kind of bread. I love a nice, good rustic white bread. You can, but whatever you want, whether it's wheat, oat, multigrain, it's your world. So don't be afraid, and don't let people put you in a box. Got me some nice, good smoked ham. You can grab you some smoked ham already smoked out the store, or you can cook it, roast it. We know the holidays are coming up, so you're gonna probably have a lot of ham hanging around for the holidays. This is a great way to incorporate it. Very simple. We got some flour. We got a little smoked paprika. We got some cumin. We got a little nutmeg, salt, black pepper. That's what you need. So first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna get my little burner going here. And now I got my little burner going here. We're gonna start on making the bechamel sauce, or in the South, as we call it, a roux, but it still can be bechamel, white blonde sauce, roux, gravy, whichever one you want, tomato. So first thing what you wanna do is you wanna take you a couple of tablespoons of butter. And while you're letting that butter melt, what I like to do also is add in my ham. The reason why I add in the ham now is so I can get those flavors from the ham. You know, the ham is gonna naturally have a little salt already in it, and then that smoky flavor is what you want to release. Now, while we have that going, let me let you see here. That's what we're looking at right here. For those that decided they want to cook alone, but don't worry, my truly grass-fed and Slow Foods USA family has the recipe, so that make sure you get it if you already don't have it. Now, we're gonna add in our flour. So you want to just fold in your flour, and this right here is what you do to start cooking the flour down with the butter. You want all of it to just come in good. Now, once that starts to fold in, now we're gonna add in the milk and our heavy cream. And this is what starts to bring that creaminess to life. But we all know, hey, it don't mean nothing unless you got some cheese in it, baby. So what you want to do is I really love their blocks too. So you want to just take your block and you want to just start shaving your cheese in. It's okay to get those chunks in. We're going to add both of the aged cheddar and the creamy cheddar, shaving those in, get that shade in real good, get some blocks in there, the creamier the better. Give that a little stir. Now this can tend to cook a little fast and start thickening up. So while it's cooking and thickening up, we're gonna add in just a pinch of black pepper and salt. One of my all-time go-tos is nutmeg. Nutmeg in your mac and cheese really makes it stand out, and it gives you that uniqueness to it, that nice, good enriching. And the smoked paprika is just a little touch to send it on over the edge. So while we got this cooking, and I don't know if some of you all tuned in, like when John was giving an introduction about Chef Jernard, and he said Chef Jernard's new show, New Soul Kitchen on CLEO TV. That's CLEO for those that didn't know. But CLEO TV show for Cleopatra is an amazing network for millennial women of color. But I love creating all kind of unique dishes on there. And this is one of them, especially when it comes to doing mac and cheese, 90 ways from Sunday. As a matter of fact, my show, New Soul Kitchen, premieres actually next Wednesday on the 27th at 9:30. And it is nationwide, so no matter where you are, you can get the show and watch it and cook along with me. Now check out this right here. Let me show you here. Get that steam to clear out the way here. Look at this creaminess right here. This is what you want right here. This is what you want. See that, Chef Julian? This is how we doing it. I'm already knowing Chef Julian know they're eager to throw down. So
delicious.
So once you get that nice creaminess, just to come together, just come to life. And look, y'all see how fast I did that? That's the key. It doesn't take a long time. People think that when they go into a kitchen that it's going to take them a long time to create dishes and things like this, so they dread. No, this is your Zen moment. Chef, don't you find it relaxing when you go in the kitchen and cook sometimes?
Oh, definitely. Cooking is very cathartic for me, very therapeutic. It's amazing.
Yeah, I know it is. It's so, and one of the things I really love, and I'm so happy to be doing this with Chef Julian, is he reminds me so much of me. You know, when I started cooking, I was 10 years old and I started in the kitchen with my father and my mother cooking. And hey, I didn't even realize that one day I would be a chef. And people asked me what I was going to be when I grew up. I always told them I was going to be an attorney because I knew up and down, I swore up and down I was going to be a lawyer. So once we get this blended in, now you take your pasta that you already got and you just want to fold that right over the top of it. Now remember, you already got your ham in, you got your cheeses, you got all that good creaminess. Just blend it together, just blend it together, blend all this together, and it's just gonna start to form a nice, good mac and cheese. But as we call it, green eggs and ham, I said, Sam. So you got that ham, you got that mac and cheese. And let me just, I believe, hey, every great chef should taste what they're cooking, whether you're a chef or a home cook. Very good, very good. I'm getting notes of the sodium coming from the ham. That salted butter is so creamy and it's blending perfectly. Then the smokiness from the aged cheddar cheese, the sweetness from it, all of it pairs well. And then those mini pasta noodles work perfectly. Now what you want to do is, when you have that, go ahead and get you a nice, good baking dish, like what I have here. You place it in that baking dish, make sure that it's nice and even, put it in the refrigerator. Put it in the refrigerator, or you can speed the process. You can pop it in the freezer. 15 minutes is chill. You want it to be nice and hard, because what we're gonna do is, after Chef Julian started cooking up, we're gonna come back, we're gonna cut this into squares, and we're gonna make those sandwiches. So guys, go ahead and get that ready. I'm throwing it to Chef Julian, because now it's time to see what he got, because I know he got some goodness for us.
All right, thanks, Chef Jernard. Hey, I am so excited to be here. I'm Chef Julian. I'm all about empowering kids through cooking, because cooking is a great way to build kid confidence. So today, I'm gonna be showing you a twist on the classic grilled cheese. So there's a lot of different grilled cheese recipes out there, but a lot of them are kind of plain and basic. So today we're gonna be spicing it up a bit. We're gonna be making grilled cheese skewers with a tomato cheddar fondue. All right?
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. And it's kind of like an amplification of, you know, how you dip your your grilled cheese into tomato soup sometimes. It's kind of like that, but amplified. And it tastes so delicious. And that's what we're going to be making. So first, we're going to be starting on the tomato cheddar fondue. So for the tomato cheddar fondue, what we are first going to do is we are going to saute some garlic. So I have this pot over here. You can use a saucepan or a Dutch oven. And we're going to be putting in 2 tablespoons of truly grass-fed, natural, creamy, salted butter. So it's really good. It's rich, creamy, non-GMO, and perfect for our sauteing. So first, we're going to put it on low to medium heat, add in our butter, and we're going to let that sizzle just for a little bit, melt it, spread it around, looking really nice already. Then we're going to add in.
It happens in the kitchen. It happens in the kitchen. And this is right here, Chef Julian is showing you, look, hey, there's no right or wrong way to cooking when you're in your word right.
All right. So yeah, there's I make some accidents. I'm a kid, I'm 13. What do you expect? There's gonna be some mistakes, but that's the fun part about it. So we put in some garlic. This is about 2 teaspoons of garlic, minced garlic. We're going to stir it around in our pot and let it melt just a little bit. All right, now that it's simmering, what we're going to do is we're going to go and chop some tomatoes. So we have 2 tomatoes already in this food processor. They're already diced, chopped. And the thing about the food processor is it minimizes exposure to knives, which is really helpful for kids. So we're going to cut it up. And that's a great thing about this recipe. It's really kid friendly. Like, kids can make this from start to finish with little to no help from an adult. So we're
Yeah.
gonna
Now,
chop this.
Chef, is there a particular tomato that you like, whether it be heirloom, Roma tomatoes, beefsteak tomatoes? Is there a particular one you like?
I think my favorite is Roma tomatoes. They're really good. Yeah, Chef Jernard, I have a question. What's your favorite type of tomato?
My favorite type of tomato is an heirloom tomato. I really love a good heirloom tomato because whatever it is, when they're grown, when you bite into them, it tastes like they've already added salt and pepper to them in the dirt.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Anyways, moving back, we're going to put this in our food processor. We cut it into eighths, really easy, so we can make room. We're going to turn it on. And you see that it did a nice job of kind of liquefying it. We're gonna kind of go through it with a spoon just to make sure all the chunks are kind of nicely chopped. All right, I'm gonna go for one more turn, I think. All right. That's exactly how we want it. All right. So
And
now,
another fun fact, in case people didn't know, tomatoes and strawberries are in the same family.
oh yeah, wow, that's crazy. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys get a glimpse of what's kind of happening with our tomatoes. We have it all liquefied, and we're gonna add it into our pot. All right, and we're gonna kind of just stir it up. It's going to start making a really nice smell and aroma because it mixes really well with the garlic. All right, and it's kind of starting to heat up. Oh wow, you can already kind of smell the tomato goodness in it. Can't wait till this turns out. All right, so then to give it a nice texture, a nice thickness to it, we're going to be adding 1 cup of tomato paste. And the tomato paste is kind of gonna thicken it up. And then we're gonna add in 1/2 cup of chicken broth. And if you want this to be a vegetarian meal, you can actually add vegetable broth instead of chicken broth and make it completely vegetarian. All right, so we're just gonna stir it in there, make sure it gets nice and thick, just the texture we want it. All right, gonna kind of stir it in there, looking nice, looking nice. All right, now what we're going to do is we're gonna add some flavor. Every good dish needs flavor. So we're going to add in 1 teaspoon of basil. This is dried basil, so we're going to add it into our pot. All right. Then we're gonna add in salt and pepper to taste. And to taste actually means enough for your liking. So it's not enough for you to like it, not anyone else. Don't care what everyone else thinks. Enough for how you like it. So as much or as little as you want.
It's about bringing people into your world.
Yes, equal to your world. Then tomatoes actually kind of acidic. So to balance out that acidity, we're going to add in a pinch of sugar. Every good tomato sauce dish has a bit of sugar in it to balance out the acidity from the tomato. So then we're just going to stir it up. And you know, the thing about the basil that we put in there is basil goes really well with tomatoes. Like tomato and basil goes good together like peanut butter and jelly. So it makes a really nice smell, really nice taste, really nice flavor. All right, we're going to let that simmer just for a bit. And while that's simmering, I'm actually going to clean up a bit. I have this rule, ABC stands for always be cooking, but always be cleaning and always be careful. So you can see where this kind of applies already today. So I'm gonna clean up a bit, put this behind me.
I like that. That is definitely a great
It's
analogy.
Yeah. All right. Chef Jernard, I have a question. Do you cook with your kids?
I do actually. Funny story behind it. That's how I started cooking. My father used to always bring me in the kitchen with him to cook, and I thought he just wanted me to help him. But what I discovered was it was his way of spending time with me, and I really valued it when I started reflecting back on it as I got older. And I made it a tradition with my children to start doing the same thing. So what we typically do is on Friday and Saturday nights is their nights to choose whatever the dish is that they want to create, and we create that dish together. And that's my way of finding out how the week has been, what's going on in their world. And it's just so exciting And also at the same time, you know, when you're using your hands, you're more apt to talk,
yes.
you're more apt to talk freely.
Definitely. Cooking's a really good way to bond with the family. That's why it's so important to get your kids in the kitchen. All right. That's what I want everyone to walk away knowing. That's what I want all of you to take away, because kid leadership is one of the most important things there is, because kids are the future. So if you're not teaching them leadership skills, who's going to? All right. So yeah,
and we know the kitchen is the heart of the house. The kitchen is where the focal point of everything begins and ends in a home.
Oh yes, definitely, definitely. All right, coming back to our fondue, it's already mixing really nicely. In fact, I'm gonna kind of show you what it looks like. You can see it has a really nice color, has a really nice texture. And I think actually, you know how you said all good chefs taste your food? So that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to take a bit of it. That is really good. Has a salty touch to it. You can also taste the acidity of the tomatoes, but it's also balanced out with a bit of that sugar. So now I think we're ready to move on. And we're actually missing one thing. What is a fondue without cheese, of course?
Absolutely.
So,
it's not fun. Hey, if it don't have cheese in it, it's just a do. It's not fun.
We put the fun in fondue. All right. So we are going to add about a whole block of truly grass-fed block cheese. It was super easy to shred, and shredded cheese actually melts easier. So that's a fun little kid hack that you all should know. All right. We're going to add it into our bowl. Ta-da. All right, I'm gonna put this behind me, ABC. Then we're gonna stir it in. And it's already kind of starting to melt. The pot is starting to simmer. It's looking really nice, like really nice. I tell you guys, I really wish you guys were here with me, because this looks and smells amazing. This is a really awesome dish. And like I said, kid friendly. Kids can make this easy. And it's really awesome appetizer. Or if you want to serve this as an after snacks meal, it's like, it's everything. You can use it after school. You can use it as lunch, dinner. This is amazing. All right, so now that we have the cheese mixed in, we're going to put that on low to medium heat. All right, then we're going to put on the lid and let it simmer. All right, so I think we are about done with our tomato cheddar fondue. And I think I'm gonna kick it back over to Chef Jernard. How's your food going?
Oh, it is going good. It's smelling good. I'm actually, because I didn't eat lunch earlier because I was preparing for this. So I can't wait to dig. I can't wait to dig in. So one of the things what you want to do, I love always getting a nice good rustic bread. That way I can cut it to my own specifications. And this is one of the cool things. You can cut it whatever lengthwise, however the thickness that you want. And then if you're worrying about it getting old, if you don't eat it up all at one time, or you and the family, just pop it in a Ziploc bag, and you can go back to it at any given time. But I like cutting these roughly about a quarter or so of an inch thick. Let me show you here. Let's get one of these bad boys out like this right here. Cut it about a quarter of an inch thick. Now, once we have that cut, it's time to get ready to actually start searing up those grilled cheese. So first thing you want to do, I always like having a nice little flat top here that always gets the job done. Now that we have that flat top, what I always do is, I believe in when making a grilled cheese that you should toast the inside and the outside of your bread. See, a lot of times people just toast the outside of it, but I say, hey, toast that inside too. So you got that nice, good creaminess and that crunch right on the inside and outside. So you're getting it in every bite. And it's more of a texture thing. So we're flipping both sides here. Got that one, drop a little more butter. And you never can have enough butter, as I always say. So remember that mac should be nice and firm, nice and firm. So you can just take you based off the size. You can take you a spatula and just go ahead on and set and get your squares made. Get your squares made. Look at this. Look at this right here. Look how evenly that square comes out. And it's packed with that beautiful ham. Now we flip it over because we want that hot side first. Now that we got that hot side first, we're going to take those truly grass-fed, bold and creamy slices. And we're just going to lay those on the inside of our grilled cheese. Because, hey, still need that cheese. And we lay this right over the top, right over the top. We're going to put some on the top because I believe you need to have that cheesiness on both sides here. Right over the top. Then remember that hot side. Look at how beautiful and nice that's toasted up. Boom. Right here. Got one more tablespoon of butter that we're going to allow to just melt. Then what you can do is you can take your nice little lid, put over the top. It doesn't have to close all the way, but just put over the top so it starts that moisture working its way through, and we just allow this to sear. And you're roughly going to let it sear on each side for roughly about 2 minutes or so, keeping an eye, having your temp at a medium high, and so that you don't burn the bread, but at the same time, it'll cook it nice and slow, just the way you want it. And while we're waiting on these bad boys to sear up, John, do the people have any questions for us?
They do, Chef Jernard. Y'all are doing great. The audience is really exciting. And Chef Julian, there's a lot of energy around your ABC rules there. So I think you helped a lot of chefs out. But I'd like to, the audience, again, reminder to the audience, please put your questions in the chat. We're going to ask our chefs to respond. Also, we'll keep this running polling. Let us know any of your favorite ingredients to place in a grilled cheese. But Chef Julian, people are curious. Our audience is curious. How old were you when you first started cooking?
Well, there's actually a fun little story around that. So I got started cooking when I was 3 years old. It all started on my 3rd birthday, and I had actually gotten snowed in. So Texas, I live in Texas. It doesn't snow a lot, but when it does, it goes all out. So the roads were so icy, I had to cancel my birthday party because it was too safe to travel. So I was kind of sad, but I actually didn't want to let that stop me. So I went to my mom and I asked her, hey, can I make my own birthday cake by myself? So usually my mom doesn't quite agree to these things. Of course, I was 3, so it would be dangerous. But this time she agreed. So I got on my step stool, hence the name Step Stool Chef, and I got to work. So the cake was a huge success, and I actually been cooking ever since.
Wow. What a great story, Chef Julian. I was snowed in one time and burnt a frozen pizza, so you made much better use of your time. Chef Jernard and Chef Julian, audience is very curious. What are the best cheeses that you all prefer and recommend to use in a grilled cheese?
The grilled cheese.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Chef. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I was gonna say I'm a cheddar kind of person. So cheddar is really awesome in grilled cheese. It has this nice sharpness to it that I really think combines well with the golden brown crust of the bread.
And I have to say, I'm a cheddar person as well, but I really love a nice good aged cheddar. It's something about the agedness of it that brings out this boldness and the flavor of a nice good grilled cheese, because I think grilled cheeses are meant to be savory and creamy at the same time. And that's what that aged part of cheddar cheese really does for us. Now, let me go ahead and lift this bad boy up off of here and give y'all a closer look at all that creamy meltiness. Now, let me slide this out the way so you all can see what's going on here. Let's lay it down here. Yep. And depending on if you are 45-degree angle or you're a straight angle is how you want to cut this. Me, I'm more of a 45-degree kind of angle person. So
I agree. I'm definitely.
give me
I
a
like cutting it
nice,
diagonal.
good serrated knife here. Look at this, look at this, look
Wow.
at this right here.
That looks amazing.
Anything else would be uncivilized. There we go, there we go.
Chef Jernard,
Anybody hungry yet?
That's beautiful.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm really hungry. This is all so delicious. This is too delicious. I'm getting really hungry. I can't wait until we get to try this.
Yeah.
You all gave us gave the audience good perspective on the kind of cheese. And Chef Jernard, you were showing your choice of bread. So I'm curious if you could give perspective. What kind of bread holds up when you pair it for a grilled cheese and holds up to the cooking process as well?
Yeah, when you're making your own traditional grilled cheese, I think a nice good French bread is always good, or a nice good rustic bread, or even a mountain white bread. Those are all good breads. You know, you can purchase the already store-bought prepackaged bread that's already there. But for a good grilled cheese, you want to have a certain depth of lengthwise as far as in the bread to the amount of cheese so that it balances out. You don't want to have too much bread where the bread drowns out the cheese, but based off of doing this creation right here with the mac, because it's creamy, that pasta is giving it a nice good height to it, it's okay to cut your bread about a half an inch to an inch thick so that it balances out easier and it's fulfilling. And also, hey, if you got that tomato basil soup or tomato basil fondue like Chef Julian is whipping in, this is good for dipping.
Definitely. And that's kind of what I'm going off of. That's why we have this as a fondue. It's really good. It's very creamy, and it has a bit of actually a smoky touch to it. So yeah.
There's also audience question. I think it kind of relates back to the bread conversation of this challenge of, I have this when I cook grilled cheese too. How do you get your cheese to melt to the desired sort of consistency you want before your bread gets too dark?
Okay.
That tip that I just showed everyone, searing the bread on both sides. So see, typically when people are doing grilled cheese, what they do, they just drop the butter in or olive oil, depending on what they're cooking with, and they're already built a sandwich and they just sear to both sides, and they're relying on the heat to penetrate from the outside to get to the inside to melt the cheese. What can happen at times, sometimes you can burn your bread, you can overcook your bread, but at the same time not get it at the consistency. So what you do is you go ahead and butter both sides, start searing both sides. That's gonna put that heat on the inside. Then layer it with your cheese, close it, and finish off, because that heat on the inside now is enclosed in and it's working with the heat that's on the outside as you turn it to give you that maximum meltiness that you want. Also, I want to point out too, another cool thing about the cheeses, if you notice, these cheeses are white and not like that old, a lot of make-believe yellow cheese that we see. So that tells you there's a good naturalness to it. So it also means that it has a nice, good meltiness to it, because that's what you want. You always want to look for a cheese that's going to melt just right and not fight against you in the heat.
Yeah. And I actually also have a cool technique that I found. If you want to make sure that the cheese is melted nicely, I'm about to show you a cool trick where you can actually use a pan lid. You can put it over and it kind of traps the steam, which makes the cheese melt really nicely.
That's a great tip, Chef Julian. You probably saved a lot of grilled cheese sandwiches in progress today. Chef Julian, Chef Jernard, thank you. Chef Julian, we want to come back to you now as you finish the work you have in the kitchen and show us the rest of your recipe.
All right, so we have our fondue. It is nice and melted, and I'm going to go ahead and check on it. Let's see how it looks. Oh, wow. That looks really
Go ahead
good.
and give us a sneak peek, Chef.
Yeah, I'm going to give you guys a little peek of what it looks like. You can kind of see, look at this. It's really melty. The cheese melted really nicely. And I can't wait until this turns out. So we're going to stir it up a bit. All right, and you can see, oh, wow, that smells amazing, really good. And the basil has that really nice smell to it, really nice aroma. So I think we are going to let this simmer and move on to our grilled cheese. So let me put the handle, top that on. All right, oops. All right, and now I think it's time to move on to our grilled cheese. So for the grilled cheese, there's actually two different ways I envision this. So of course you can go with a normal standard sliced bread. So I actually picked out sourdough bread because it has a nice taste to it, but we're also going to mix it up a bit. So I picked out a baguette, and it's a perfect size for the truly grass-fed sliced cheese. And it's a really cool way to look at it, how to make a grilled cheese. It's not your classic grilled cheese, all right? So first, we're going to get started on our baguettes. So we're gonna get a baguette, and this is freshly baked at the grocery store. So we're going to cut it about 1/2 inch thick, cut it into slices. And when it's fresher, it cuts easier, way easier. Trust me, I know. All right, so we have we're gonna get 4 slices, about 1/2 inch thick. All right, and what we're going to do is we are going to lather it in butter. So Chef Jernard, I saw you had that tip of putting it in butter on the sides to make sure that the bread melts and cooks evenly and also gets the cheese nice and melted.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to put our pan onto about medium heat, and we're going to continue spreading our butter. We want to make sure we get it on both sides. Crust to crust is a must, all right?
Yeah.
All right, so we have our bread. All right, we're gonna get the other sides too, like this. Quick and easy, quick and simple. And this is an activity that you can have your kids doing. If you're not comfortable with your kids around sharp objects or heat, what you can do is just get them to do the easy stuff, like spreading butter on the bread. It gives them this self empowerment, and also it really teaches them some important skills that they're going to learn later on. So we're going to put our bread butter side down. Going to put on 1 slice of truly grass-fed cheddar. It's really sharp, it has a sharpness to it, and it's also creamy, non-GMO, just like all their other products. So we're going to put it on the bread. All right, and the great thing, I think I mentioned this before, is that it's the perfect size for the baguette slices. All right, so then we're going to put our other slice butter side up. All right, and it's already kind of starting to cook. So we are going to, like I said, use the little method where we put on the top, and it's a really cool kid hack, helps it melts the butter evenly.
The steaming method, yes.
Yeah, you can already, it's gonna capture the steam, melt that cheese. It's really helpful. All right, so while that is cooking, oh, the fondue seems to be cooking also. So we're gonna put this on, I think, low heat. All right, let that just simmer just a little bit. Then we're going to go on to the sourdough method. All right, so for the sourdough method, there's a really cool thing that we're going to do. We're going to cut the crust off of our sourdough bread. All right, this makes it really nice and clean, has a really nice look to it, and it's very neat. All right.
That's a question for the people. How many people are crustless bread eaters?
Oh yeah.
Because you'd be amazed, a lot of people like, I don't want the crust, I don't like the crust.
Oh yeah, some people don't like the crust on their bread. So we are cutting off the crust. Plus it looks cool. It has a nice cool look. It's perfect, clean, rectangular. Yep. It's really awesome. And it's really perfect for how this is going to play out. So for that, now I'm gonna move the crust to the side. All right, just give me a sec.
ABC, huh? ABC, always be cleaning.
I always tell you, always be cleaning. All right, so then we're going to get another 3 slices of their sliced cheese, and we're going to put this on the bread. Again, the shape works out perfectly for this because it's the perfect size. Like, look, we're going to put on 3 slices of it. Make sure it has a bit of a gap in between. So if you can't tell, there's a bit of a gap in between each slice because we're going to be cutting in between into 3 different slices. All right, and that's kind of how it's going to function and make it more of a skewer. And I'll show you that later on. So we are going to put our other slice of bread on top. And then what we're going to do is we are going to cut it in between the little gaps I showed you. So right in between the gaps of the cheese to make 3 individual slices like this. All right, so this is what we want. All right, see this nice thin slice, all right, in between the gap. All right, so I'm cutting it. And that is how you do it. All right. And now I think it's time to check back on our grilled cheese baguettes. Oh, wow. It's already kind of starting to cook. The cheese is starting to melt just a tad. And you can see it's starting to cook all right. Okay, we're going to put this back on and we're going to move back to our sourdough. So for the sourdough, for the sake of time, we already pre-cooked it and you can see what it looks like. It has this really nice golden brown. The cheese is melted. It looks super delicious. So what we're going to do is we are going to then cut it in half. So we're going to cut each slice in half. So we're going to take our knife, and the knife, if you can't tell, I was using a bread knife to cut the baguette. It's really easy for cutting bread. All right, so I'm gonna cut it in half. Oops. All right, see this? Have this tiny little square, which we're going to use for the skewer. All right, cut it in half. All right, tiny little square. And the last one, cut it in half. Again, these are simple jobs. If you are comfortable with your kids around knives, there's actually this really easy knife that kids can use. It's called a starter knife. It's made from plastic, so you can't actually cut yourself from it. Anyways, moving back, we're going to get our slice of bread, and for a cool little touch, we're going to add in a cherry tomato.
This could be a great party favor as well.
It's a really great appetizer or party favor if you're throwing a party, especially if you have kids. It's perfect for this. Plus, the dipping, it makes it really fun. All right, so then we're going to put on another tomato. Going to put it on our slice. And I think the grilled cheese is starting to cook. Let's check back on it. The cheese is starting to melt. And wow, you can see it has a nice golden brown to it. Oh, gotta be careful. All right. Cheese has a really nice golden brown touch to it. And we're going to flip it over. If you can't tell, I'm actually using tongs for this because tongs is really helpful for flipping the small objects like this instead of using a spatula. All right. So I'm going to put the lid back on, go over to our skewers. For the skewers, we're going to do the other one. Get one little slice, put it on. We have our cherry tomato, put it on. All right. Looking nice, looking nice. I'm gonna put on one more thing. And that's how you do it. This is super easy. And again, if you need something for your kids to do, if your kids are too busy in front of the screen, cooking is a perfect opportunity to get them off the screen and get them in the kitchen. It's a really nice life skill. Seriously, guys, you have to cook with your kids. This is important. All right, so we have our skewers done. Look at this.
Beautiful.
Perfect party snack. All right, I'm gonna put this down. Let's check back on our, oh wow. I say oh wow a lot. It's kind of like my catchphrase, I guess. Right? It's cooked really nicely on the other side. I think it's about time to take it off. And wow, the cheese is melted a lot. Okay, we're going to take this off, kind of, and we're going to put this on our cutting board. All right, turn this off. Make sure to turn this off. Always be careful. All right, and that is how you do it. We have these fun little toothpicks. Again, party snack, I tell you guys. All right, I'll put it on this plate so I can show you guys what it looks like. Let's see, this looks delicious. All right, so I'm gonna have these little mini skewers, and these are perfect for tiny little hands. You can grab it, eat it. It's really delicious. We have our skewer, and we have our fondue. Let me put the fondue in this bowl right here. Let me move this to the side so you can show. All right, so we can show what it looks like. All right, always be careful. That's why I'm using pot holders. A, B, C, and ooh la la. This is fancy. All right. It's really fancy, but at the same time, it's really easy to make. And that's what makes it such a great dish. All right, you can see right here. Let me get another scoop of this. All right. And look, you have a nice steam coming off of it. This is super easy, super simple, yet looks so amazing, so delicious. I can't wait to eat this. All right.
I know. I'm ready to dig in whenever you are, Chef.
Are you ready? You ready for this?
I'm waiting on you.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna get our skewer, perfect for dipping, by the way. All right, and let's take a bite of this.
Yes.
All right, dipping this in our fondue. The fondue is just delicious. All right.
Celebratory bite. We've all been waiting on this.
Mm.
Give us your reviews, please.
It's amazing. It is
Yeah.
amazing. Like, this is a really good dish. Super delicious. Guys,
And
you have to try this. Seriously, make this with your kids right now. I'm telling you, it's delicious. You have my recipe. I think Truly Grass-Fed and Slow Food USA has the recipe. So don't wait to get in the kitchen with your kids and make this recipe. All right, that's all I want you guys to do. All right.
that is so true. And I'm tasting from mine. I'm getting that nice creaminess, that nice, amazing crunch that's coming from the crust of the bread that balances out with it. And then those little tidbits of ham that's coming through, just marrying so well with the cheese. The perfect bite, as I would call it. This definitely, actually, you know what, John? I think I'm gonna go in the second time.
Please do. You're making us all jealous. But as you're biting into your creation there, Chef Jernard, I'm appreciating even more when you showed us you were slicing the bread, sort of how you looked at the bread and how it was going to perform when you put it with the cheese and how it was going to be in the final elements. So that thickness seems to be really important now as we look at the grilled cheese as well as the bread choice.
It does. It's because you want to have that perfect balance. So in every bite, it's an experience within itself.
We could hear that crunch as you bit into that, and that well, I don't know if there's any better way to describe the sandwich you just made than hearing that crunch.
I know. What do they call it? ASMRs?
Yeah, exactly. This is definitely an ASMR experience. We had some great, well, we have lots of appetites with the audience, and we have some other questions we'd like to put up for you, Chef Jernard and Chef Julian. People are curious, attendees are curious. One is that just know that there's a pretty evenly split, just like almost anything on the crust. You have some crust enthusiasts here, and then some folks saying, let's get the crust out. So that's an interesting conversation. And then there's questions on, do you prefer to use a frying pan, or do you prefer to use something like a George Foreman grill when cooking a grilled cheese? What cuts the error out, do you think, the best?
I actually think that the best pan to use is a griddle. It's really nice. It's easy to flip when you have a normal grilled cheese with a spatula, and it cooks really nicely for the grilled cheese.
Yeah, the griddle does give it some pretty beautiful marks. But me, the only thing that, now don't get me wrong, I love a great griddle, but when it comes to a grilled cheese, I love either a nice good cast iron skillet or a flat surface, because I want that bread to grab all of that butter. And what I always see whenever I'm making grilled cheese with the griddle, some of my butter escapes into those little griddle cracks, and I want all of that. I figure, if a grilled cheese is my guilty pleasure, I want all of the flavor. I want that butter, I want that cheese, I want that crispiness, I want it all. Nothing escapes from me. So
yeah. And
soak it all up, right? And
Yes.
Chef Julian, when you showed us your sandwich at one point during the segment, you picked it up, it was actually dripping a bit, showing that it was absorbing all of that butter, all of that goodness.
You can see it.
Yes.
And Then there's actually griddles like that. They have griddles with like flat surfaces. That way you can saturate your dishes with the butter, and it's really awesome to use.
Yes.
Well, you both also made the grilled cheese look beautiful, and grilled cheese, like almost anytime you see it, it looks great. But you took it up a couple levels here in the way you presented it. We have some questions on here that what is a good side to prepare with a grilled cheese? I think anybody grew up, like I grew up in Chicago. We had a grilled cheese and tomato soup. That'll always bring back Saturday afternoon growing up. But what other pairings would you recommend?
I was throwing it to you, Chef.
I like to have it with kind of Caesar salad. I like salads, and this is a really good meal to go with a Caesar salad or any kind of salad of your liking. And also the thing about grilled cheese is you can really be creative with it. So maybe it can have its own sides to it. So like there's actually another dish that I have been thinking about. It's a BLT grilled cheese. So you have your bacon, you have lettuce in it, you have tomato in it. And you can get experimenting on grilled cheese. No recipe is set in stone. So you can always just experiment, be creative, and have fun.
And for me, one of my other all-time favorites, and it's funny, John, you mentioned that you were in Chicago. That's a fun fact I didn't know. And a fun fact for me is that that's where I was born and raised before moving to the South, Chicago. So the Windy City, I love Windy City, and that's my hometown. But I have to say, and I think probably from spending so much time in Memphis, Tennessee, I love a beef brisket grilled cheese. There's nothing like a good smoked beef brisket with some nice, good smoky seasonings that has caramelized over the top of it. And you serve that with a grilled cheese. It can go on the side or it can go on the top of it. But it is amazing that the balance of the cheese and the creaminess with the smokiness from the beef brisket and the tenderness pair so well. And then I have to think, one of my all-time favorites during the holidays is I love making cheese charcuterie boards. And on those cheese charcuterie boards, I'll do an assortment of cheeses. I'll do honey, whip the honeycomb, and then I'll take pickled onions, pickled cucumbers, layer them on there. And then also I'll take some form of either a pulled brisket or pulled chicken, and I have it on there where that as we're going and enjoying listening to music throughout the house, I like having that as a cool assortment as well.
I could feel that brisket pairing with that grilled cheese just so perfectly, Chef Jernard. We have time for one more question, and so I just wanted to put it up for each of you. Salted or unsalted butter? What's the recommendation?
Depending on what you're cooking there or what you're going for, I suggest an unsalted butter if the seasoning requirements in whatever you're cooking requires more sodium-based ingredients. Me personally, I love cooking with a lot of fresh herbs and spices, so I lean towards more of a salted butter and rely on that butter to bring the richness and that natural sodium that's in it that way.
All right, Chef Jernard, thank you. Chef Julian, any thoughts on that, salted or unsalted?
Frankly, I like unsalted butter. Because if you have unsalted butter, you can kind of adjust enough of the sodium in it to your liking. Plus, when it comes to grilled cheese, it already has like the sodium that's in it. It already has like the sharpness, has a little kick to it. So unsalted butter is good, and then you can kind of just add on from that.
That's great advice. What a great segment. You took grilled cheese. We all thought we had it figured out, and then we do a session with the two of you and realize there's so much more fun we could be having with a family favorite. I'd like to thank our chefs, celebrity chef Jernard Wells, father of 9, and host on CLEO TV, your new show. We're so looking forward to seeing your new show, so we'll be sure to check it out. Chef Julian Frederick is a kidpreneur, and Chef Julian, you gave us the ABCs. Great advice for everybody. Like to thank everybody Again, please remember, visit the show will be on slowfoodusa.org. So please watch it and check out Truly Grass-Fed as well. Thank you all for spending the hour with us. It was a pleasure to have you. Chef Jernard, Chef Julian, thank you so much for sharing your talents with us.
Thank you, John, and thank everybody for tuning in. And definitely, if they want to see more of what myself or Chef Julian, please follow us on Instagram. My Instagram is at Chef Jernard, and yours is at what, Chef Julian?
My Instagram is at StepstoolChef. You can also find more of my recipes on stepstoolchef.com. And guys, thank you so much for letting me show you the different ways of making grilled cheese. Grilled cheese, it kind of reminds me of my childhood. But, you know, when I mean my childhood, I mean like last week.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I'm still kind of experiencing my childhood. So this is really fun. And I got to share part of my cooking experience with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.